What's up, guys? Alright, today's video is a partially dirted tank. So we're going to go through all the materials that I used to do this. It's going in the 120, so we're going to have geophagus, which are earth eaters. So we're going to kind of go through how to make sure that the dirt stays down in your tank. That's important. Geophagus will obviously go through your substrate. They kind of just nip at everything. So we're going to go through here. I'm going to show you what I used to do this, how I did this, and hope you guys enjoy. Here we go. Okay, so we've all seen this material before. This is what you use to like separate your garden from your lawn. Helps keep grass out. So this is what I'm using to separate the dirt from the sand. I'm using a sand substrate in this. So you can see I've already cut this, but I just wanted to show you the material. What you want to do at first is take your piece about the length of your tank, put it in your tank, and then decide where you want to cut it and mark it off and then cut it from there. Okay, so in this tank I'm only dirting the back. As you can see, that's the divider that I used. I've already wet the dirt down. So that's the divider I'm using. I'm using these rocks to kind of hold that in place for right now. I am going to add some smaller pebbles and stuff to just kind of fill this in, give it a little bit better look. You can taper that. You can cut it at a taper and make it, you know, tall on one end and then going smaller to the other side. They have different kinds of materials you can use to separate your dirt from your sand, but this is what I'm using. It's what's going to work for me. I do have a lot of dirt in this. It's a little bit over 4 inches of dirt that I'm using here, so that's not recommended. So don't do that if you can get away with maybe using some blocks or something underneath here. I wanted all the dirt I could get. I'm going to be planting some Java ferns in the back, just something to grow really tall, some Ludwigia, stuff like that, because this is an extremely tall tank. So that's what I'm using right now. I'll show you the front view here. This is what she looks like. I've already wet it down, that's why I have all this water in here, milky. But for the most part, this is going to keep your dirt in place so it doesn't go everywhere when you start filling up your tank, especially underneath. You don't want that leaching out all over, so we'll cloud your tank up pretty good. So as for right now, this is what I'm working with. Little piece of driftwood right there. Everything's covered in sand, so that's why everything looks covered in sand, because it is. So anyway, this is where I'm starting off, guys. We will take the rocks and we'll start filling in all these places here all the way around to cover this up, and then we'll use like a pea gravel or something just to kind of smooth this out. And then over the top of that, I'm thinking I might use some pea gravel and then just to use the sand down here in the bottom. So I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I'm most likely going to go with the pea gravel over the top of the dirt. Like I said, I do have 4 inches of dirt here, but I'm probably going to use about 1 inch of pea gravel over the top of it, just to you know, secure plants, that kind of stuff. Looks a little bit better to me. I'm going to have this piece of driftwood sitting in there too, so it's going to hopefully look really cool when we get done here. And we'll continue this video here in just a moment once I get everything in place. Okay, so we got the pebble down. You guys can see where we're at. I got my driftwood out there. I know it's still covered in sand. It looks like a rock, but it is driftwood. And we got the pebble all the way around. Got her nice and even. We're going to go ahead and use the smaller rocks to fill in these gaps here all the way around. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the Java fern in here and get the Ludwigia in here. Java fern is great in your background. I want really tall plants in this because I don't really have a foreground. It's all going to be sand. So for right now, this is where we're at. I'm going to put some Ludwigia in. Probably kind of dose the Ludwigia around this area here, and then use the Java fern around the back, that area there, just so it'll grow up tall and kind of help cover my my overflow there. So that's where we're at. And we'll get back to you in just a minute when we start getting all the plants down and get some sand down. I'll probably wind up doing the sand first. Get all the sand in here. See how this is just bare? Get all the sand in, and then once I get all the sand down, then I'll start working on the rocks and everything. So I'll leave a little bit of sand just in case I got to cover any little gaps and stuff through here. So that's where we're at right now. It's a partially dirted tank, 101, baby. So we got all the rock in, which you guys can see. I still have a lot of surface area. This is all on the front. And you look in the back, so I have all that to plant in, which is a lot. It's a 120-gallon tank, so you got plenty of room to plant in. And you can see how deep the sand is up here. This is going to go down. You can see there's a lot of pockets in there, air pockets and stuff. So when we put the water in, we'll get that down. And I did kind of build it up on this side and then flow it down that way. So anyway, guys, that's how I did the partially dirted tank. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, that little red button right there. And we will talk to you guys later.